So the last time, or a few times ago, you saw me use this spray wand and test it out for the aeroponic system. This is going to go in the middle of the triangle, or the pyramid that I had. And it looked like a good design. It was really fun, and it sprayed a lot. But I looked around a little bit to see if there was some easier way to do something like this, and I think I did come up with it. The design I looked at looked more like a spray ring, and it used fewer of the spray nozzles, and it also seemed to do a better job of distributing from a pyramid from the big base on the bottom to the top. As you can see here, I use a 3/8 tube that you can get for ice maker. This one's a particularly hard one, and I'm going to experiment to see which is better, this or the softer ones, because it was a hard time getting these nozzles in here. And you'll see there's 4 of them. Well, actually the 4th one is suspended on this wand here, so that it would get the triangle tip, the pyramid tip. And you see the T here, the text, and just a simple, it could be any, I just used a clear one just to see if this worked. And a connector to adapt to my pump, which took a 1/4 inch. So this would go in to the base of the pyramid, and it would just spray up and spray around. So let's go into the greenhouse and see how this looks. So here's my greenhouse at night. The neighbors seem to not mind at all. Of course the door wouldn't be open, but you can see also my sleeping aeroponic, or my hydroponic system that grew awesome tomatoes and peppers, eggplants, vines, and all sorts of fun stuff. It's sitting there dormant, and I'll be fixing that, and you'll probably see other videos of me doing that too, where I clean it out and get it ready for the next season. So let's go into my greenhouse. As you can see, it's at night, and you can see that I have my nice induction lighting on. They're on a timer, of course. So if you look right here, let's see, you'll see some timers that keep this stuff on, and this keeps me from getting depressed, I guess, in the winter, because of course these guys are really bright and they have a nice wide spectrum. So let me put some things away and I'll show you around. So as with all my other designs and other, as you learn about the systems and how they work, you start to learn and correct yourself and learn new ideas and reconfigure and retry. I think people that are more successful with this kind of work are people who fail a lot in their experiments and learn from those failures to get something that eventually works. And that's pretty much how I've done this whole thing. Even the greenhouse is a result of a lot of trial and effort. And you can't, you just can't just put stuff together from nothing and have it all work really well just immediately. You got to tinker around with things. So one of these things that I had to change was, if you recall, last time I had the pump and it was way up here, and I was thinking that pumps have issues when they are way above the roof, so I stuck it down here closer to where the working area is that it's going to be working on. As you can tell, this is the tub that it goes into, and it has drains in it so that when these spray, eventually there'll be 2 sprays for both my pyramids, and so all it will drain down here into this bin of water. Now, as you know, these are high pressure pumps, so they don't need a lot of gallons per minute or anything like that. So they're going to be just fine using the water that's in this, and you just got to make sure it's full. And I'm thinking on using a water soluble fertilizer instead of like a nutrient solution I normally use from General Hydroponics. But we'll see how that works in clogging the emitters, and if they do clog, because these only have to run for 50 days before I can clean them out and all that, I'm going to do something like this. It's going to shoot out more water, but I'm going to get one that does half the spray. This is a 360, so I'd have a 180, and then I'd just stick them in the sides and replace the emitters with these, and these will just spray up. But this has a bigger, as you can tell, spray head, and it should just spray up. So this should be the alternative if this fails. And I've also taken the liberty to use different type of tubing in case there was a bunch of leaks from these emitters. So, you know, I wanted to use stuff to experiment to see which one would be the best kind of thing to use. And here's the parts that I, you know, use for getting things together. So there's all kinds of fun stuff in here, just to check things out. So let's put this thing together real quick. So it's going to suck that I can't show you this without it spraying all over my greenhouse. But it did work just fine. I want to show you really quick the bin here. I have both of the drainage because I use this for an older hydroponic system, pointing in there, and then I have a sponge on the intake tube, and I tied it down so it stays secure inside the bin, and that's what's feeding the pump. And I weighted down the top with rocks, but I'll probably invert the baskets when I get it all finalized so that the rocks are inside the baskets. And I did that because if I put the tube on the ground, it would be too low, I think, to spray adequately all over the inside. Now also, I would probably make the ring smaller, so maybe I'll tweak the design to make it a little smaller in diameter so that it'll spray more towards the middle and hit everything a little better. Right now it's got about 1 inch away from everything, so that it may be a little too close to the edges to be entirely 100% effective, but we'll see how that goes. It looks like it sprayed just fine, and remember I have 2 of these going, so I'll have 2 spray rings, and in total it'll only take 8 emitters total for this pump. You want to make sure your pump is secure, because when it starts, and I'll show you, I will start it for you, but you won't get to see much. So let me put the hood on the pyramid and give it a shot. So here we have the hood on the pyramid, and there's the hole that I use, but now I use it for a spying hole so I can see what's inside. So the deal is, this will be on a timer, but right now I'm just going to plug it in for fun. And here we go. So there it is spraying. It's going crazy. It's getting plenty of wet. It's not running through the water very much. And I'll stop the rattling so it won't be as rattly. But you can see that it's doing a pretty good job. It's getting everything wet in here. Up to the top you can feel the air and the water, the mist, spray on. And we'll have this thing on for like 30 seconds and then it will shut off, and then we'll do it again, you know, every few minutes, because this greenhouse will get to be a lot. It'll be pretty hot in here sometimes, and you want to have the aeroponics because things die faster with aeroponics. So let me shut this off. Yes, unlike a hydroponic system, if you neglect or if something goes wrong with your aeroponic system, you're going to be totally screwed in a matter of like minutes instead of hours or maybe even days with some of the Dutch bucket systems. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll show you if I come up with any more tweaks, and I'll show you the system when I get the other ring, which will have the features and optimized things that I hope to do. You know, maybe a smaller ring, maybe elevate it higher so that it can get there. So, and then we'll try it out, because my plants are really, my starts really need to go in here. I would have been here sooner, but it's been raining every day, and my dogs like to stay outside whenever I do my work, and I don't want them all wet. So today was the first and probably last day for a while in Washington where it's going to be not raining. So I took the opportunity to do this for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe. Take a little quick look. I had 1 orchid and it turned into what, 8 orchids, plus some more orchids up there. There's the other pyramid just waiting dutifully for me. So yes, please let me know how you feel, your comments, suggestions, anything like that. That would be great too. And I hope you enjoyed what I had to show you today. Cheers. So now we see if everything dies. Some of it dies or whatever. And I will regroup. I already have ideas for the next pyramid. I'll probably use different emitters. But we'll see how this works out. And stay tuned. As you can see, I put some of the plants in. So we'll see how they die. Trial by fire, right? Fancy. There you go.